Okay, guys, so real quick, just a heads up. If my voice sounds a lot different than normal, please ignore it. I think I'm getting sick or something. It's been getting deeper and deeper for the last couple of days, and finally, this is what I'm stuck with. I can tell that there is some kind of phlegm in my throat, but anyway, let's just get into the story. Reddit, I'm scared. I'm a normal, ordinary 30-year-old woman. I live alone in a small house in a nice neighborhood. Nothing really happens here. Nothing really happens in my life either. Before, I didn't like that. I wanted something new. Something to break the boring atmosphere that always surrounded me. But now, all I want is to go back to my normal, boring life. A couple of weeks ago, I started to get these calls. On the screen, it always said unknown number. I never ignore a call, because I'm scared that I will miss something important. So that is why I picked up every time they called. Although, it was always quiet. Sometimes, I could hear very silent breathing. Calm, steady breaths. I did not think much of it. Mostly I thought it was a bit annoying. That was all. I'm not a person who easily gets scared. And as I said, I am a boring, ordinary woman. I was sure nothing would happen to me. One day though, it started to get creepy, even for me. I sat in the living room, watching some soap opera, and my phone started ringing. Unknown number. Ugh, not again. And I picked it up, expecting the usual silence. But this time, I heard someone. A creepy, raspy, very low voice. The kind of voice that sends shivers down your spine. Amalia, he said. I lost all my words. What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to say? It was so unexpected. The weather's nice outside, isn't it? He continued. Without thinking, I looked out the window, which was right in front of me, behind the TV. It was a sunny day. I watched the blue sky for a while, almost forgetting the unknown man speaking to me. Just as I was about to hang up, I noticed, behind the bushes, a man, tall, skinny, with piercing eyes. He was smiling the most horrific smile, looking directly at me. When he saw that I had noticed him, he waved. Hello. My whole body became weak with shaky fingers. I pressed the red button to end the call, throwing my phone on the floor like it was about to explode. He kept looking at me, with his phone pressed to his ear. Maybe you should hide. I heard his voice again, through my phone. Impossible. I picked it up. Maybe I had pressed the wrong button. But goosebumps started to spread on my skin as I saw the call had indeed ended. I looked outside the window again, and he was gone. I collected all the strength I had in my body to run to lock my front door, and seconds after, I pulled down all the curtains. The last thing I did was turn my phone off. For a while, I just sat on my couch, letting the TV feel the silence and distract me for what just happened. I got no sleep that night. All I did was lie on my side staring at my phone, praying that he would stay away. As the sun went up, I felt like I could relax more and more. I heard cars go by and people talking, children laughing. It was a new day, a day like every other day, an ordinary day. So, I turned on my phone, ate breakfast, went to work, came home, and made dinner. They had not called a single time. It's probably a one-time thing, I thought. The weeks went by without any disturbance from the strange man. The phrase, unknown number, faded away and it all became a part of the past. But yesterday, when I came home from work, I saw him. But this time, it was not a raspy voice in my phone. It wasn't hidden in the bushes outside my window. This time, he sat at my dinner table, only a few meters from me. He was casually playing with a bottle opener when he looked up at me. "There you are, a bit late, aren't you? You usually arrive about 10 minutes after 5. And this close." He looked a lot more intimidating. There was nothing special that stood out, to be honest. His appearance was rather normal, but it was the fact that he was so tall, almost bony. His pants were a bit too short, and even though the shirt was not that tight, you can clearly see his bony chest. But the worst thing about him was his eyes. They were never smiling. It was almost as if they were hollow. As soon as I saw him, I gasped and froze where I stood at the doorway. "Finally, we meet, Amelia." The way he said my name, it made me want to puke. He pushed the chair back a bit to stand up, and I managed to take a step back. As he started to slowly walk towards me, I ran outside to my car. I had a hard time putting the key in because my hands were shaking so much, but I just made it in time. So while I was driving away, I could see him in the mirror, just standing there. The only place I could think of driving to was the police station. First, I gave them my personal information, and after that, they made me explain the situation. I told them everything, but what they said made me speechless. "Ma'am, are you taking any medication?" I have no memory that I am on some medication, and I couldn't understand what that had to do with the situation. So, I told them that they must have the wrong information, that I am healthy, a normal, ordinary, 30-year-old woman. But all they told me was to see my doctor and tell them about the whole situation. I don't even have a doctor that I meet on a regular basis, at least. But I have a stalker. I am in danger, I begged them. But they just shook their heads, quietly spoke to each other, and said that they couldn't help me. So, this is where I am now. I have searched through my whole house for some kind of evidence that I am sick in some way, but I can't find anything. Now that I think about it, I can't remember when he started to call me, when I got my job. It's all so blurry when I think back. It's like there's a point in my memory when it all becomes black and unrecognizable. My family, my friends, he's standing outside my window now, waving at me. "I will always be here now, Amelia," I can hear him say, like he is right beside me.